Step out of the vehicle. You are being detained.
What? You can't arrest me? Do you know who I am?
Sir, stop resisting and put your hands behind
I'm
your
not
back.
going anywhere. This is illegal.
Control Unit 2-3, copy. Suspect non-compliant, need another car. Sir, last warning. Hands behind your
Get
back
off
now.
me. I haven't done anything.
Stop pulling away.
You're making a big mistake.
On the late evening of October 14th, 2023, a routine police patrol in the city unexpectedly turned into a tense confrontation that would later gain attention across social media. The incident took place on a quiet road just outside the downtown district. It was close to midnight, and the streets were unusually calm. A light rain earlier that evening had left the pavement wet, causing the reflections of streetlights and passing cars to shimmer across the road. For most people, it seemed like an ordinary night. But for Officer Daniel Harris, who had been on patrol for several hours, the night was about to take an unexpected turn. At approximately 11:42 p.m., Officer Harris noticed a black luxury SUV moving unusually fast down the road. The vehicle appeared to be exceeding the speed limit and briefly drifted between lanes before correcting itself. From his training and experience, that kind of driving behavior was often a sign that something might be wrong. It could have been reckless driving, someone in a hurry, or possibly even a driver under the influence. To be safe, Officer Harris activated his patrol car's emergency lights and initiated a traffic stop. The red and blue lights flashed brightly against the wet pavement, illuminating the dark street as the officer followed the SUV for a short distance. After about 30 seconds, the driver finally slowed down and pulled over to the side of the road. From the outside, it looked like a routine stop that would likely be resolved in just a few minutes. Officer Harris stepped out of his patrol car and approached the vehicle carefully, just as he had done countless times before during his years of service. His body camera captured every moment. As he walked toward the driver's side door, he could see that the driver appeared to be a well-dressed man in his early 40s. The man wore an expensive suit and a polished watch that caught the light from the patrol car. The vehicle itself was also clearly high-end, a black SUV that suggested its owner was likely someone successful or financially comfortable. Officer Harris calmly greeted the driver and explained that he had been pulled over for speeding and for briefly drifting between lanes. At first, the driver seemed confused. The man identified himself as Michael Carter, a local businessman known for owning several construction and real estate companies throughout the city. But within moments, the conversation began to change. When Officer Harris asked Carter to step out of the vehicle so he could continue the investigation, the driver's attitude suddenly shifted. Instead of calmly cooperating, Carter immediately began questioning the stop. His voice grew louder, and the body camera footage captured him demanding to know why he was being asked to leave the vehicle. Officer Harris remained professional and repeated his instructions clearly. He explained that he needed Carter to step out so they could talk safely beside the road. However, Carter refused. What started as a routine traffic stop quickly began to escalate. The driver's frustration turned into visible anger. Carter insisted that the stop was unnecessary and repeatedly claimed that the officer had no reason to detain him. Despite the tension rising, Officer Harris continued to speak calmly, reminding Carter that refusing lawful instructions could lead to further consequences. But the warnings did not calm the situation. Instead, Carter opened the car door abruptly and stepped out while continuing to argue loudly. From the body camera footage, the atmosphere quickly changed. Passing drivers began slowing down as the flashing lights from the patrol car illuminated the entire street. A few pedestrians nearby stopped to watch what was happening. Officer Harris attempted to guide Carter away from the vehicle and instructed him to place his hands where they could be seen, but Carter pulled his arm away. In that moment, the situation escalated from a verbal argument to physical resistance. Carter began shouting that the officer had no right to detain him and attempted to step away toward the front of the vehicle. Officer Harris quickly informed him that he was now being detained for resisting instructions during a lawful stop. The body cam footage shows the officer attempting to maintain control while repeatedly telling Carter to calm down and stop resisting. However, Carter continued to argue and refused to comply. The confrontation lasted only a short time, but in those moments the tension was clearly visible. Nearby bystanders had already begun recording the scene on their phones, capturing the flashing lights and raised voices. As Carter attempted to pull away again, Officer Harris moved to restrain him. After a brief struggle lasting less than a minute, the officers successfully secured Carter's arms and placed him in handcuffs. Shortly afterward, backup officers arrived at the scene to assist. The situation finally began to calm as Carter was escorted to a patrol vehicle. According to the official police report, Carter was taken into custody and later charged with reckless driving and resisting arrest. Fortunately, no serious injuries were reported during the incident. However, the body camera footage from that night would later spread widely online, sparking discussions about authority, responsibility, and how quickly situations can escalate during a traffic stop. For Officer Harris, the encounter served as another reminder of the unpredictable nature of police work. A stop that began as a simple traffic violation had quickly turned into a tense confrontation. And for Michael Carter, a decision made in a moment of frustration changed what might have been a normal evening into a night he would not soon forget. Sometimes the most ordinary situations can take unexpected turns, and on that quiet road, under flashing lights and the watchful lens of a body camera, one routine patrol became a moment that thousands of people would later watch and debate.